What's up, guys? Today I wanted to speak about something a little different. I saw a video of Andrew Tate, and he was saying how everyone is in a rush to make it, right? They're like in this impossible race. Not impossible, sorry. It's very much possible. But they're in this race to get as much money as quickly as possible to, I don't know, break out the matrix, be free, financially free, have that autonomy to do what they want. But he said that in addition to that, we are also in a race until we make it to become the man that we want to be. So what that means, what he meant by that is that once you make it, once you are, financially free, or whatever you define as making it, you freeze as the man that you are at that moment. And he said that you stay that man for the rest of your life. Now, I don't necessarily think that's true. Of course, he's gotten to that point, so it's... I will humor this. I will humor this being true for a bit, but... I think we can still grow despite making money, and we can grow while we're making money, and our goals can shift from just being able to get our head above the water to finding more intrinsic fulfillment from being an entrepreneur, being a business owner. But I mean, I want you to just think about what if that is true? What if as soon as I get rich, I stay as that person for the rest of my life? So if you're just some dumb idiot kid, you're just gonna stay that guy. If you're a guy who values going to the club and blowing 20 grand on bottle service or whatever, when you make it, I think you will, he means that you will stay that person. If not for the rest of your life, at least for a while. So I just wanted to think about this two race model. Obviously the first one, we got to get rich, but second one, you have to become the man. You're racing yourself because you don't want to slow down getting rich. You want to get rich as fast as possible, but you're also racing yourself in becoming the man you want to be by that point. So I mean, I did some writing yesterday, and I wrote out all the things, all the character traits I don't like about myself, and what I do like about, what I want to have. And it's really, eye-opening to see, these are the things that we need to strive towards, to embody these traits before we attain our wealth. We have to become that main character of our story even before we get rich. I have this idea that the story will start when I make it, that gives me money to be able to do all these cool things, but that's not, it actually works the opposite way. That's also why the law of attraction and Think and Grow Rich, that's what their message is that you have to be before you can gain. You have to be that person. Before you become a UFC world champion, you have to act like you're already a UFC world champion. And that means not just with your bravado and not just with your training and with your discipline and your routines, and you have to be dialed all the time, but also with your bravado, also with the way you carry yourself. You have to be good on the mic. You have to know that you can get that. You have to play into the opponent's head. You have to do these mental battles. And then you will have your UFC belt, because that transformation happens in your head much earlier than it happens in the world. So just think about maybe you have to everyone has an ideal version of themselves, right, in their head. But just think about maybe you have to become that ideal version before you attain your goal of wealth. Maybe you have to ascend to I wrote that you have to ascend to that higher level of consciousness Like, think of yourself as a sword, right? Like a katana. Like, to be able to cut fully through something, you need to be sharp. You don't need to be blunt. And that means you need to constantly sharpen yourself until you cut through. Until you get to the point where you are sharp enough to cut through. You don't get it by like whacking a blunt katana over and over again and trying to make it go through. And vice versa, like, you may even self-sabotage if you don't achieve your goal. You may like, just like, I don't know. If you're trying to get a good physique and you mess up one day, you may go on a binge eating spree. Like, that's so counterintuitive. That's dumb. Like, you were just making your sword blunt. What you should be doing is sharpening it. Whether that's sharpening your, tracking your calories, or sharpening your exercise routines, or sharpening your discipline, or sharpening like the systems where you can eat healthy more frequently. Like, you need to be the ideal version before you reach your goal. And only by embodying all of these traits, which you think like, oh, you need to attain these things. Like, my ideal version of myself will be disciplined, will be consistent, will be not take himself too seriously, will have a great physique, will be charismatic, I don't know, will be a good storyteller, a good speaker. Like, all of these things, maybe you have to become those things before you become your ideal version. Like, you have to work towards those things. And only after you embody them, only after you start thinking like them, you enter that like higher level of thinking, of consciousness, where you can actually attain your goal. So, yeah, I think that's just something to think about.